There are many ways to communicate our thoughts, and everyone does it differently. This should not be confused with errors, but only as natural and significant parts of language. Here, we're going to present to you about sociolinguistic variation and why it is important to understand how a language can be used. Have you ever wondered why there are different words that mean the same thing but in different places? Like, for example, here in Chile we love to eat a certain kind of bread that in Santiago it is called marraqueta, but in Valparaíso it is called pan batido. Why does this happen? This happened because of sociolinguistic variation, and we are going to explain it to you what that is in the next few minutes.
What is a sociolinguistic variation? It refers to a single language that is not used in the same way by all speakers. The human language, on its different forms, shows a lot of diversity, creativity, and innovation. When people use a language, they not only learn its structure but also the social and cultural rules that define a way a language is used. This includes understanding what communication is appropriate and how to effectively communicate within social groups, culture, communities, and in society.
To discuss about sociolinguistic variation, it's necessary to talk about the creator of this study. William Labov is considered the father of modern sociolinguism. His work was really important because he introduced new methods to analyze the community's speech, showing that sociolinguistic differences are social patterns. Labov proposed the concept of sociolinguistic variable, talking about how the speech represents different factors like social class, age, gender, or profession. In the Chilean context, the crosscatch also included ethnicity, how far you live from Santiago, and the region of residence. With this research, it can be represented that variations are not wrong at all, and instead, they reflect the social and communicative structure of society.
Now, moving into more technical concepts, to be able to understand language, first we need to know its components and how they work together. The first concept that we're going to explain is idiolect. What is an idiolect, you must be thinking? Well, an idiolect is the unique way in which an individual speaks a language. Each person has an idiolect because it's like their personalized version of language. Then we have the dialect. That is a more systematic way of speaking because it is formed by a community that shares the same geographical, historical, or social context. We also have a more brief concept that is social dialect or sociolect. Sociolect is the speech tied up to a group of people defined by factors like social class, ethnicity, age, or gender. Social groups tend to use particular words like jargon or even idiomatic expressions that distinguish them from other groups. Finally, since language is something that is always evolving, just like human beings, both humans and language can go through different processes depending on the age of the person. This is called age grading. This documentary will focus mainly on how the age factor influences the sociolinguistic variation, how a person's speech changes throughout life, and how generations show linguistic change in continued progress.
For us to understand how the age variable changes, it is important to study evolution through the growth stages. Childhood is a key stage because it's the highlight moment where the first linguistic patterns are acquired. Through the early learning years, kids imitate adults and the community's language, so they tend to repeat words, sounds, or expressions that are heard frequently. This process incorporates vocabulary, grammar, and identifying when to use certain words depending on the context. As children grow, they adjust their speaking to adapt themselves to their community norms, developing social skills that also influence their speech. Childhood is fundamental for us to understand how they form, stabilize, and change the variation patterns through life.
During adolescence, language becomes more innovative and socially driven. Teens often adopt new pronunciation patterns and they are always creating fast-changing slang. They also develop more advanced pragmatic skills and they are always adjusting their language depending on the context or the situation, just to feel more socially accepted. But the most important part of adolescence is that they express themselves through language and they express belonging to peer groups and they express identity. This is why frequently they lead ongoing language changes into a community.
During adulthood, speakers usually show a better linguistic stability compared to teenagers or older people. They are characterized for being more consistent while choosing a way of speaking, and they tend to stick more to the rules. Social linguists note that adults tend to use less creative ways of speaking. An example of this could be a Chilean teenager will say something, la media volada, llegamos terrible tarde, while a Chilean adult will just say, llegamos demasiado tarde. Another example could be an English teenager speaker will just say, that was literally crazy, dude, while an English adult speaker will just say, that was quite unusual. Adults use more regular and predictable patterns and use linguistic features that match social expectation. And the last stage, elderly people. They usually use more conservative linguistic patterns and tend to retain features that young speakers have abandoned. Their speech is a reflection of earlier stages of the language, which is crucial for identifying long-term linguistic changes. Older speakers often preserve traditional pronunciations, older vocabulary, and grammatical structures that are fading among younger people. An example of this could be that a Chilean older person would use words such as vivaracha, leso, or batipelado. Those are words that are not very common among Chilean teenagers. In an English context, an older English person would use words such as marvelous, rubbish, or straw. They participate less in linguistic innovations. They do not lead as teenagers do and adapt to changes more slowly compared to older generations.
It is important to address that age is just a representative number and it can be affected by many factors.
Like for example, social class, education, access to internet, or social environment.
Etymology nerd is a linguistic influencer who explores the origin of the internet culture words. Now let's see a real-life presentation.
Grandma, you should see how I play in Roblox. Everyone in my class were super skibidi shocked when I showed it to them. It was super slay.
Skibidi shock? Are you alright, sweetheart? Did something happen?
No, Grandma, it just means that they were really impressed because I played really good.
I've never heard anyone talk like that. Is that how kids talk now?
Don't worry, Grandma. It's just Gen Alpha slang. Half of the time I don't even understand what they are talking about.
But are they talking English or something else?
It is English, it's just upgraded. Everyone in my class speaks like that, no cap.
Yeah, every generation have its own way of speaking. Hers is just chaotic, faster, and a little bit louder.
I see. Well, if I want to keep up, I might need some lessons.
I can teach you. You'll have max reads in no time.
And that's supposed to be a good thing?
Don't worry, Grandma. We will translate to you.
As you can see here, we have a real-life example on how language can vary between generations. Now, moving into more pedagogical stuff, we have an interview of a teacher who worked 14 years in schools and how she approached through students through language.
How do you, as a teacher, include yourself with your students' language?
To begin with, when you work with children, it's not just about the language, but about the whole way they behave and communicate.
Many times there are words I can't understand because of their context or because of the cartoons they watch. But in the end, language is not just words, it's the whole body. It's the way they communicate through body language, the sounds they make, and also the context we are in. When I'm talking about certain topics, I can figure it out from context of what they are trying to tell me. And that's how I communicate with them.
Perfect. Are there any specific words your students use that you don't understand?
It's not a specific word, but sometimes things that come from cartoons they watch, things I don't understand because I'm not familiar with that context. Even though I do watch cartoons, I watch different kinds, so they use and repeat words they hear in their shows. And if I'm not in the same cartoon context, I can't understand them.
Understanding sociolinguistic variation through the age view show us that language is never a straight line. It includes people, their communities, and the social world they live. From childhood acquisition to adolescence innovation, adult stabilization, and linguistic conservatism in elderly, each generation reveals how deep can a language be, relating it with identity and cultural experiences. However, age does not determine in general how people speak. According to Bourdieu field theory, every person participates in sociolinguistic context, like school, family, or internet spaces, each one with its own rules and expectations. A speaker's linguistic variation shows their position in these factors and the type of linguistic capital that are valued.
In an educational context, classrooms should not be places where only knowledge is communicated. These places are social spots where languages, identities, and generational voices interact with each other. Teachers and students need to share different social linguistic aspects, address their backgrounds, social environment, and stages of life. When teachers communicate these differences, they create more inclusive and meaningful learning places. By recognizing students' language as a part of their cultural and social context, teachers can approach the natural generational gaps with authentic communication.
Finally, to end with our documentary, researching sociolinguistic variation shows us that age is just a variable with a lot of social factors. What truly matters is understanding how people go through communication and use language as a tool for identity, power, belonging, and learning. Accept this perspective not only depends in our understanding in language, but also strengthens pedagogical practices. Remind that every voice in the classroom matters, carrying history and meaning.
Thanks for watching.
Sí.
Ay, pero me había visto con...
Oye, se viene la teleta.
Factors, like for example, social class, internet access, education, and social environment. ¿O prefieres saltar? No, saltar no. ¿O prefieres hacer así? ¡Tun! Hacia allá. No, qué vergüenza. Variations are because of social patterns. No, but showing that sociolinguistic differences are social patterns.
Aquí va un caballero caminando atrás. A girl behind you.
There's a girl behind you.
Can be used. Have you ever wondered why there are words